Boom, ever onward tribe. The worst of all the vices is advice, but I'm gonna give some because I enjoy sharing some of the things I've learned over a lot of experimentation, failure, and meeting with success. My dad gave me some of the best advice I ever had in my life, and so I'm gonna share one of those and then a couple of I've learned. Two from him. If you've got a new pair of shoes and you need to break those shoes in for hiking, walking, running, you go out, you use them, and all of a sudden you got a hot spot, a blister is coming on. Vaseline, the most basic Vaseline you can find in the store. You take a dollop of that on your next hike, slap it right on the hot spot, put your sock on, shoes on, carry on. Trust me, that stuff is made by magical elves. One of the other things I like looking at is if you have those shoes, you're on that hike, they get wet. If you come back from a hike and you need to dry the shoes to use them quickly, maybe the next day, take newspaper, roll up newspaper, wedge that down your shoes like osmosis. It will suck up all the moisture. You take that newspaper out, you're off with dry shoes the next day. Definitely a gift. Get out there and do things in life. I think people are so risk adverse at this point, they're almost worried about getting hurt at every turn. I talked to a group of young people the other day and I said, by a show of hands, who has had stitches or a cast? And only a few hands went up, all boys, but a few hands went up. And I was like, look, everyone in here, you kids, should have had at least stitches or cast once. Push a little bit harder till you get to the point where you fall. That's where the good stuff lives. My favorite piece of advice, again from my dad, this is gonna be for young men, but it would seriously, obviously go to young women in the same way. It's not, sexist in any way. My dad told me when I went to college that at some point I'm gonna meet someone and wanna take them on a date. If those date goes well, you might build up the courage to actually invite them to your place and cook them a meal, which is a master level move for those of you that wanna try and impress somebody you're dating. He said, this is what I want you to remember. About 10 or 15 minutes before that person shows up your house, you take a stick of butter, a small saute pan, and you crush some garlic. The butter goes in the pan, you put it on low heat, you put the garlic on the butter 10, 15 minutes before they get there. It does not matter what's on the menu. You could be making PB&J, tacos, or a burger. If you put that garlic and butter on there, when they walk through the room, they're gonna think you know how to cook. Don't forget this. Ever onward.